Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet. Welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where today you get an extra healthy side helping of nice, fresh, hot zucchini bread. Ooh,
And a half price haircut.
extra healthy.
There we
Yeah,
go. I just had to mute it on my end.
yeah, I just did too.
Good thing.
But oh gosh, that sounds good, zucchini bread. Haven't had any in a while. Um, Hey, everybody out there in the chat, Tara Bub, Ryan Rollins, Grillin' Pirate Pete, Maggie Jade, Iceman Northland, the Greek God, Dieter Wins Ginger.
That's filthy G dubs, Ginger.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Kyler, Pat, hey, Shio, the corner's all cleaned out and ready for you. Hey, Mickey, TOS number one. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but I'm old and got those old eyes, so be easy to do. Hope everybody's having a good day. How you doing, Alex?
All right, mate. How are you?
Tired, but resting today. It's I got a day off finally, so
Well, you're allowed to chill out, relax, sit
yeah,
back, put your feet up, you know?
yeah. Except my old body woke me up at 5 freaking a.m.
Uh,
and I didn't go to bed till like 12:30. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I just need to make something very clear to the chat. Chat, these are my bubbles. They belong to me. You can look at them. If you try to touch them, I will chew off your arm.
There you
I'm not
have it.
joking. I bit a man in a fight before. Okay. I will do it again to protect what's mine. Okay. My property.
You'll
Stay.
bite your face off.
I'll bite a bit of you off. Like, I don't care how big and hard you are. You can kick the crap out of me, but I'm taking a bit of you with me. Sure. My bubbles, Miki.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's get this out of the way real quick. What the title's referring to. I still don't have a stream schedule worked out yet. I thought if I gave it a couple of weeks and see how you scheduled me, that I might be able to work something out. And I thought I had it figured out. And then this week's or next week's schedule came out, and I'm like, nope, I don't have it figured out. So I'm gonna give it another week. It may just come down to I'll just have to stream whenever I can, even though that's not the way I want to do it. If you know me, I like structure.
Oh, tough shit, old man. They say tough shit.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it another week, see how the schedule goes, if there's any similarities. I know already that one week I'll be working 5 days, the next week I'll work four, and back and forth like that. But my days off aren't the same.
No, of course not. But squeaky wheel gets the oil, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
squeaky wheel. That's your own fault. So
But if you, so I guess for the time being, if you want to know when I'm streaming, pay close attention because I try to set the stream up at least 2 hours ahead. So watch for that. And if you have Twitter, follow me on Twitter because I'll have it out over there. Enough of that.
basically, turn your notifications on, not just on YouTube, because we know that the YouTube notifications don't work for most
Right.
people. Um, and also turn notifications on Twitter. You can do that. You can go to the profile of a person and have the notifications turned on there as well.
Yep. Oh, Twitter! What a crap show it's been the last couple of days, huh?
Mate, I've barely been on it, to be honest. I've had a couple of tweets here and there, but
Yeah. Well, mostly it's been because, like I was telling you last night, and probably everybody on the chat already knows, but Twitter shut off all the verifieds for a while yesterday.
I'd heard something along those lines, but I didn't know I didn't know what the crack was. So what? All of those Ponzi celebrities that like to tell us how to live our lives have had their
Yep.
ha
All
good.
the blue check marks, they all got shut down for a while. There was, I don't quite understand how it worked, but it was something to do with Bitcoin, and because of that, these hackers were able to start accessing verified accounts. So to head it off at the pass, Twitter just shut them all down for a while.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
Omegon, haven't seen you in a bit.
Did they all lose their friggin' minds? Come on, they must have all lost their friggin'
Oh,
minds.
yeah. I bet they did. I bet they did.
Oh my god, where's my check mark gone? I'm having my ability to tell people how to live their lives
Yeah.
ruined.
Oh, from what I understand, they could still see, but they could not post.
Good.
Yeah.
No one cares what they have to say anyway.
Exactly.
All they do is spout rubbish. So
I was thinking about that earlier today. Why do I care what this celebrity says? Now, I follow a few celebrities. Most of them are sports stars. And I only do that not to hear what their political opinion is, but to hear what they have to say about my favorite sport, American football, you know. Um, Other than that, I follow William Shatner and James Woods for the laughs.
well, it's because they troll people. That's all they do.
Oh yeah, big time.
I wouldn't mind if it wasn't always political shit from them as well.
Yeah,
I mean, they're trolling people, which is, of course, it's funny. It's always funny to see people get trolled, especially by, the celebrities and all
yeah.
that.
Well, Shatner usually doesn't get too political. He'll usually remind people, "Look, I don't do that," but maybe a little bit once in a while. But if people come on there and start saying "Orange Man bad," he says, "Let me remind you that I'm Canadian and I have no."
No dog in this fight,
That's right.
as it were. That's one thing that I used to love saying on Twitter when Trump was running. I used to be like, he is not my president. I mean, quite literally not my president.
Exactly.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
I live in the UK. We don't have presidents here. Tough shit. Whereas you guys who are saying that he's not your president,
Yeah, he is.
he fucking is. You can say all this that you like, but it doesn't change the fact that he is the president of the United States of America, and you are an American citizen. Therefore, he is your president.
Iceman Northland. Yeah, I heard the same thing as well. It says I heard that an employee at Twitter sold the account information to the hackers. That's how the blue check marks got hacked. Sold it for $2,000, I believe, is what the story is. I don't know. I'm sure we'll know more as it all shakes out. But I thought it funny, nonetheless.
Oh, I bet they were squealing something fierce.
Oh yeah, I bet they were. I wasn't around much. I was hanging out with you guys while you were playing 7 Days to Die last night when they came back, so I didn't see much of that. But 2K and Bitcoin, okay, and unfortunately, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency is a subject that I know absolutely zero about. So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, same. To be honest with you, mate, same. Nor do I care to comment.
Terrible. Hey, don't worry about it, sweetie. I was just sitting in there hanging out. I was too tired to play, way too tired to play, and aggravated to boot. I know. I'll tell you guys something. Alex has already heard this because I told him last night. Yesterday, I thought I was going to have to show a group of boys their mistake of stepping in the wrong redneck neighborhood.
You should have done it. You should have just whooped all their asses. You should have told them to each pick a switch. Now that would have been entertaining.
So here's the setup. Here's what happened. It was quitting time. In fact, I was done. Money was counted and locked away in the safes. Everything shut down. Lights are off. I'm at the door getting ready to set the alarm and let myself out when some young fella, he couldn't have been much more than 21. I mean, but just young. And he he come to the door and says, "You guys closed?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, when did you close?" I said 7. He looks at his phone and says, "Well, that was just 15 minutes ago. I just want a cigar. Can you sell me a cigar?" I said, "Bud, everything's put away. Everything's shut down. No, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm actually on my way out the door." Well, he didn't say much more. He kind of like, okay, and went back out. So I waited till he walked away a little bit because I don't trust people. I don't want to be trying to lock the door and get knocked in the back of the head or something.
Yeah.
And so I waited till he got away, locked the door, or set the alarm, went out, locked the door. As I'm walking to my car, this kid's standing with a group of other kids about the same age. And as I'm walking, they're making pig noises at me and calling me the B word. Well, I looked them over and there wasn't a single one of them I couldn't take. But there was
You
about
should have done it. You should have just broke all the thumbs and
there was
gone home.
about 5 of them, and I'm afraid at my age and in my physical shape that I might have had trouble handling 5, even 5 kids. So I just ignored it and went. But as you all know, I live in a very depressed area full of rednecks. It's a redneck ghetto, and that's not a joke. That's the facts. And as I watched them, they went into the redneck bar next door. And I'm looking at them. They're all dressed really nicely, got very well coiffed hair, very expensive haircuts, nice cars. And I'm like, these guys are not from this neighborhood. These are rich kids slumming it.
Yeah.
And I almost told them, you guys are in the wrong neighborhood to be spouting crap to people you don't know because that'll get you killed right quick around here. But I thought, no, let them find out on their own.
Well, they'd learned.
Yeah.
They'd have bloody learned.
I was like, oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Just because I wouldn't sell you a cigar at 15 minutes after closing? I mean, are you going to go to Walmart and insist they open up 15 minutes after, or to your local grocery store or whatever, just because you can't get there during hours?
Mm.
People are stupid.
Yeah, they are.
It's one of the reasons I could not wait for my day off because I am so tired of dealing with stupid people. My manager told me yesterday, he says, "Man, you might be in the wrong business because you hate people." And I said, "You're right. I question myself every day."
The thing is you haven't killed anybody yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
So I mean, you're doing well so far, I guess. So there's that, and you've got promoted. So I mean, you must be fairly good with people, even though you hate everyone.
Oh, I am. I'm very good with people. It's all put on, but I'm
Yeah.
good at hiding it.
No one expects you to, to be friends with everybody.
Yeah, I'm good at hiding it, and I just talk to everybody the way I want to be treated when they come in the door. Everybody gets the same thing from me. Hey, how you doing? How's it going? And as they're leaving, I'm always sure to tell everybody, have a nice day, and say it like I mean it. And so, which brings up, and I was telling you just before, Ryan out in the chat was telling me in Twitter that he might have heard me on his phone a few days ago. I guess somebody that he was talking to on the phone was in my area, said they were going to stop in this smoke shop and buy some smokes. And he said he left the phone on and he could hear someone that sounded identical to me. And I was working at that time, so it's pretty good chance I'm who he heard. Small world, huh?
It is a small world. It is. Just said something.
Yeah. You just never know.
Mm. I don't like people, Bloodwing.
I don't either. You're stupid.
I'm not a fan of
No.
human beings. And I'd tell her, that's the difference between me and you, is that you will put up with it. I will tell people.
Well,
I don't like them.
I
And that's
I
why
have to for my job. You know, if I want to
I know,
work, I got to be nice.
that's why I've lost as many jobs as I have. Because they thought that they'd give me an opinion of me. And just like you are quite often see in my comment sections, I ain't afraid to give it back.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't been beaten the shit out of yet, to be honest. Like, well, I have been beaten up before, but
Well, I
not
have
for the same
too.
reasons, but
I have
not
too.
not
But
for the same reasons.
my one source of pride in that, the one and only time I got the crap beat out of me, it took 5 guys to do it.
Nice.
So, yeah. And I was holding my own with that until they pulled the old schoolyard trick of one got down on their hands and knees behind me and the other one shoved me. And once I was on the ground, it was just all feet, you know.
That's really gay. Really gay.
Yeah. Next thing I heard though was tires squealing, engine revving, and a female voice saying, "Get away from him!" And as the crowd cleared, I looked up and it was my aunt. Had seen what had happened, and she come at him with a car.
I've just looked at the chat, Blood and Kyla. A
Uh-huh.
total twat, but a nice guy for all that. Oh, Italy didn't even know it.
Yeah, well,
That's fair. It's fair.
kind of a sideways comment, you know.
I'm not going to argue. It's a fair statement to make.
Yeah.
Fair statement to make. I'm not going to argue with it. Because I agree. I am a dickhead. But, you know, I'm a dickhead, you know, that has a heart of gold.
Well, there you go. There you
What's
go.
going on, Addy? What's going on, Addy? I hope you're good, mate. Hello, everybody in the chat.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, Sir Adamante. But long time no see, bud. She was banging on my door like that. Like I was still up playing my bagpipes. Okay. Shio. So what else we got? I don't want to talk about all the bad news crap going on. There's enough of that.
I don't even know what the bad news even is, to be honest, mate.
All the racist garbage going on YouTube and out there in the world.
What's the racist stuff? I realize that you don't want to talk about it, but I am intrigued, sir. I'm intrigued to hear about whatever's going on. Can you give me the clip notes?
Well, there's that fellow. What is it on MTV? What's his? I don't even know who he is.
Nick Cannon.
Yeah, coming out saying white people are all animals and they can't help being beasts, and putting down Jewish people. You know, Jewish rule.
I had heard he'd been anti-Semitic. I didn't
Yeah.
realize he said that about white folks.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it, for him to say such a? Because at the end of the day, mate, you can retort to something like that. You know, all you have to do is go rah. You know, and what's he gonna say at that point? Like, what do you say to somebody who just growls at your back? You know.
Yeah. But it's just been stuff like that and the other side things that are similar. You know, it just.
I have to ask the question, Blood. Why do people think, right, that attacking racism with more racism is a good fucking idea? Like, why do people think why is that a good idea?
Well, and I've done a lot of thinking on this lately because, as I've openly stated many times, I am a firm believer in the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King. I believe in his dream. He wasn't a perfect person. He certainly had some issues, but his dream I buy into. And his dream was he looked forward to a day when we're all judged on our character, not by the color of our skin.
Fair, yeah.
And until we quit identifying as what our color is, and until that becomes, you know, less important than the fact that we're just all human beings, it's just going to all keep going. It's going to keep going.
Unfortunately, such things we are still quite far away from. As
yeah.
Identitarianism is something that is unavoidable at the moment.
Yeah. In some ways, we've went backwards. You know that I like to watch music reaction channels. It's kind of my guilty pleasure. And I'm listening to watching some of them. And who was it? Oh, it was one of the reactions, and he was reviewing a song by Casey and the Sunshine Band. And immediately when he sees the video, because it was a video of Casey playing, he stops the video, his mouth drops, and he says, "I thought this guy was black." I thought he was black because he played funk and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And as a lot of people told him in the comments, and I was thinking, in the 70s, there was much less distinction between black and white music. There was a lot of bleed over in not only the music that people liked, but in the makeup of the groups and stuff than there is today. So in some ways, we went backwards.
Sometimes it really feels like it. So much identitarianism, it antagonizes the fuck out of me.
Yeah. Deck Train, if Omega wants on, all he's got to do is ask. Of course, I'll let him on. But yeah. I don't know. So, sometimes, but of course, at the same time, back in those days in the 70s, the neighborhood where I live today was exclusively white, forcefully so.
Yeah.
It's no longer that way, but it was back then.
It's funny. I'm in the middle of doing all of my research for my cult video on Jim Jones and Jonestown Massacre, and I'm listening to an audiobook about it, and I'm just trying to absorb all the information. And one of the most messed up things about Jim Jones was the fact that he actually did a lot for race relations.
Yeah, he did,
especially in Indiana.
Yep.
Especially in Indiana. But
he was a celebrity here. I mean, all the local politicians, and for those of you that don't know, I live in Indianapolis, which is where Jim Jones kind of got his start. I mean, it was photo opportunities with Jim Jones back then was all the rage. Let's get my picture taken with Jim.
Yeah, he used to sell them because the pictures he took were magic. You see, because obviously that's the lie that he spread. Was that a child even swore once that a picture of Jim Jones that he'd taken with him he placed it onto a dead bird and it had revived the bird.
Yeah.
That's how ridiculous that man was. But yeah, people loved him like that, and he actually genuinely did do a lot.
He did. And if sadly, if you ever watch any of the videos of his compound out there in Ghana,
the Guyana,
there's
was horrific.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's white, black, brown, everything. It
was very mixed. I suppose a mixed paradise. That's what it was supposed to be anyway. It didn't go that way, as we all know.
Unfortunately, he was a madman. So, real quick, thank you, Not Shio, for the donations over on Streamlabs. What's blue and not very heavy? Light blue. Okay, and then he says, "What? They can't all be anti or is or isms." Okay, Shio.
And you know what? That's the thing that gets me about Jim Jones. It really is. Here was a man who had sought out to be this great person, and he could have been. Easily could have been, but that ego, oh boy, the need to control people. And what the reason why he took them to Guyana was because of the Cold War. He genuinely thought that nukes were going to fall on America, and he wanted to save himself and along with his congregation. So he didn't initially try for Guyana. Guyana was on the list, but there was a whole bunch of other places like San Francisco, California. He actually did take them there. Yeah. What's going on? All you need?
Hey, all you need.
He went to Brazil. He went to another place. I can't remember the other place. He tried all different places, but Guyana turned out to be the perfect choice for him in the end because. Sorry, man, I'm trying to do something. Because it was a socialist country and they were English speaking, and the population was mostly black, and he did need to have black people.
And he spread a lot of money around when he got down there so that the authorities left him alone.
Very much so.
And one of the reasons too that he left California was also he got a little afraid they were starting to catch on to him.
Oh yeah. He was about to be exposed by different people. There was a group of women actually that set out to expose him that left the People's Temple, and it started he'd managed to piss them off because he preached equality and his inner circle was mostly men, and that's kind of how it went from there. And obviously Jim Jones was a bully. He was a deranged bully. The things he used to do, even back when the People's Temple was still in Indiana, he used to have people beating the shit out of each other. He used to punish his flock. And he'd sit there laughing, and his laugh was horrible. He had this squeaky, kind of laugh,
Yeah. Shio, why can't you tell a joke about Jim Jones? The punch line was too long. Oh dear.
Get out.
Oh, Shio. You're getting close to that corner, bud. Getting close to that corner.
Yeah, his laugh was like something from, I don't even know why. He sounded like a gremlin with a whiskey problem.
Well, he did have a drug problem. I know that.
Oh yeah, amphetamine. Because when he was younger, he was kind of like, one of the famous points about Jim Jones was that he could stay awake. He needed very little sleep. He spent most of his teenage years, well into his adult years, going to school, working. He used to survive on very, very little sleep at night. That's how he was able to do as much as he did as quickly as he did them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, age is a thing. Age is a thing that happens to people, and it does catch up to you in the end.
Yeah, I can testify. I can testify. So, it sure does.
Yeah, you can. Everyone slows down eventually. So, yeah, there's that, I guess.
If you're if you're talking about the tape of the last sermon, if you will, of Jim Jones, it's pretty disturbing. And if you're easily disturbed or upset, it's not something you want to listen to.
Even if you aren't easily disturbed, you will be disturbed by it. It's horrible. I've listened to it a couple times. And it never gets any easier. It never gets any easier listening to that tape. It never gets any easier listening to the punishments either, because they were just that brutal. To be honest with you, man was a monster.
Oh, he was, absolutely. And of course, that was big news nationwide.
Sorry,
I know. I seen it. I was trying not to acknowledge it.
Jesus, dude. Come on. I'm
Uh,
trying to like be respectful about this, you know.
oh, but yeah, I mean, of course, it was nationwide news when all that came down, but it was really big here because, of his Indiana connection. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
imagine it was nuts in Indiana.
yeah. Indiana and California, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, because he was very big in California as well. He was
Yeah.
really big in San Francisco. He was quite big with the politicians and the celebrities, wasn't he? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
He was a dick though. But some of the shit that he said, uh,
Oh, yeah.
like he come back bragging about like having sex with X amount of people, like saying that he had to do it.
Yeah. Hey, Becca. That seems to be kind of a hallmark of these cult leaders.
Oh yeah.
The sex thing, God told him to have sex with this person, and
Oh, I had to I had to spend all night warming her up.
yeah,
Uh, God, shut up! No, you didn't. The only reason why you probably could have sex for any amount of time, which I doubt you did, but if he did, uh, it's the amphetamines. Like the guy, that's what sent him batty. It was
yeah,
the amphetamines. He was downing them like they were sweets.
yeah,
Uh, that's what fucked him. That's what fucked him in the head ultimately. That's why he went nuts. Uh, you know, amphetamines plus his personality plus Cold War paranoia.
yeah. And I don't know this for fact, but I would think also probably the reason you always seen him in sunglasses.
Oh yeah, that's why he wore the sunglasses. That's a confirmed thing. He wore those sunglasses so you couldn't see
Yeah,
that he was all hocked up on speed and God knows what else. Um, the guy was such a. I honestly I hate the guy a lot. I really do. The guy
well,
was the guy was a bully of the highest friggin' order.
I think any thinking person with any amount of empathy would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel bad for his kids. They're older than me, but I still feel bad for his kids.
Oh, there's still fallout, from people there were some survivors, that
Oh yeah, some people managed to leg it, didn't they?
yeah, out into the jungle, and there were people that got out of it just before they went to Guyana, and
Yeah.
things like that. So there's still fallout. There's still people suffering from all that for sure.
Oh yeah. There's a story about one of the survivors. She was a 72-year-old black woman, um, who was like, she was a grandmother,
Yeah,
uh, and she hid underneath her bed. And I guess she went to sleep, and when she woke up, she came out of her little hut, and well, 900 plus dead bodies on the ground
yeah,
will fuck anybody up, in my opinion.
yeah. I've heard at least one account of somebody that played dead, you know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
Well, you had to because if you tried to say no, they grabbed you, they pinned you down, and they injected you with the cyanide. So,
yep.
uh,
And gunmen were chasing those that were escaping out into the jungle too. They didn't get all of them, but they did follow them out. It was a bad deal all over. The world had never seen anything like that at that point, and it was. I remember when it hit. It was quite a shock. Quite a shock.
I imagine because the images, like even today, would be considered to be horrendous.
Oh yeah,
Uh, I it's one of the only things I've done in terms of like covering the true crime content that has had an effect on me. I don't mind admitting that. It does
sure.
genuinely upset me a little bit when I listen to that last tape, when you can hear the music in the background and you can hear the babies screaming as they
Yeah,
feed them the cyanide, because the kids were the first to go,
yep.
and the parents were the first to go, and then
And cyanide is not a painless death, folks. It's not painless.
It's not painless at all. It just sucks the oxygen out of your body and sends you into a crazy kind of like shock. You start like frothing at the mouth. It's not a good one.
No, it's. I can think of better ways to go, like in my sleep. In my sleep.
I'd rather get hit by a car, if I'm honest.
Well, only if it was instant. I wouldn't want to linger on after being hit because it sounds like too much pain. But
well, yeah, right. 9 times out of 10, if something hits you at the correct speed to kill you, I mean, you're probably going to die straight away.
Yeah. Or like, oh, good Lord. One time, the wife and kids and I were on our way back from a visit to our family in Kentucky, and we're driving down a 2-lane highway, fairly small country highway, and traffic was backed up and going really slow. And as we got up there, we seen there was a cop car, and I seen the cop was leaned over, puking his guts up. And off a little piece in the distance was a convertible flipped over on its top. And just a little ways from that was a headless corpse, which I wished I hadn't seen.
Lovely.
But yeah, but at least the guy probably didn't feel anything. I don't know.
Well, it probably happened at such incredible speed and force that just fade to black straight away.
Yeah. And if you know me, I have trouble with stuff like I can watch the goriest horror movie. Hey, Jen, I could watch the goriest horror movie and I'm never. It doesn't even faze me. I mean, I'm like, okay, this isn't necessary if it's just over the top, but it doesn't faze me because I know it's all fake. But you show me something on public television that's an actual film of a surgery or something like that, I'm like, oh no, nope, out, nope.
Well, I can do surgeries.
No,
I mean, I'm not a fan of those kind of things. Don't get me wrong. Like Vanilla Bear's she's fucking dick. she loves shows like that. I don't seek them out personally. If I'm going to watch a show about hospitals and stuff, I'd rather watch like 24 Hours in A&E, or you guys would call it ER. What's going on, Jen? I'd rather see how the staff kind of like get on with their jobs and that kind of thing.
Oh, I'm fine with that as long as I don't have to see blood and guts.
Which I suppose is fair enough.
Yeah, but, I'm pretty sure I've told the story before, but I'll tell it again real quick. My wife, we have 3 kids, and the third one was a surprise because she had her tubes tied 2 years prior, and evidently it didn't take. And after the third one was born, they went to go tie her tubes again, and we were at the same hospital that they were born, everything. I'm in the waiting room. Anyway, the surgeons come out with a VCR tape. This was back in those days, and said, what? And they're handing it to me. I said, what's that? And he goes, well, we videotaped the surgery so that you can see that we did do it. And I'm like, I don't need to see that. I don't. No. I'll take your word for it.
Do I really need proof of this?
My wife took it home. She watched it though, but no.
Well,
don't do well with stuff like that.
Her prerogative.
Yeah. And you may ask, well, what do you do if one of your kids or grandkids is hurt or whatever? And I've done this before. I can maintain until the person receives help, and then as soon as that happens and I see that they're going to be fine, and then I just fall to pieces.
Yeah, for me, the real life kind of like gore, my reactions have never been one of emotion. They have always been a physical thing for me, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel sick. I ain't gonna lie. I feel it. I don't actually throw up. I just feel quite sick. I think is fair enough on my part. But yeah,
when I was younger, probably about, I don't know, 14 or 15, me and one of the other neighborhood boys who was like a year younger than me or something. Anyway, we were riding bicycles out around the neighborhood, and we were on the next street over from where we lived, and these dogs started chasing us. Well, he's watching the dog chasing him and not the parked car in front of him.
oh,
And he ran smack into it and face planted into the back of this car and busted his head open. Well,
ow.
you know how bad head wounds bleed.
Yeah, I've had one myself when I was a kid. It bled everywhere, including all over my pizza, which
So
was sad, very
I
sad.
helped him home, which was a block away. And by the time we got there, he was just a mess, And I knocked on the door, got his mom come out to help him and everything, and left his bike there, and then went around the corner and just about collapsed. I was a shaken mess. Oh my God.
It's not that bad. It's not the same as watching someone's head come off.
I just don't. Alex, I am so bad, I will not even watch them take blood from me. I won't do it.
I get
Nope.
like that close to the needle when they're taking it. 'Cause
No.
I have to be able to see it. The lumbar puncture thing, I felt sick because I couldn't see where the needle was.
Nope.
And
Nope.
I
I'll
didn't
even
enjoy
warn them ahead of time. Look, I have been known to pass out, so I'm not going to watch. And you tell me when it's over.
Oh, don't be sick. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Nope.
All right.
Ain't going to do it.
A needle isn't that bad. Like, I get being afraid of needles and everything.
Needles don't bother me. It's not that part. It's just the seeing the blood,
What about when they do like when they inject you with something,
Well, that's fine. I don't mind that.
your vaccine shot
Yeah.
type of deal. Yeah, you should be okay with that, right?
Yeah. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Probably the only thing, back in my drug days that saved me from, I never used a needle. And probably that's my thing with blood is probably the only thing that kept me out of that lifestyle, because I was there many times when people did use a needle, and I'd watch it, and they do what they call priming it. And what they do is inject a little in, then pull some blood out, inject a little in, pull some blood out. And I'm like, nope.
Yeah, things like heroin, mate. Drugs like that are never worth it. I can understand getting high on, your acid and your weeds and things like that, but heroin is never worth it.
Yeah. If I couldn't eat it, snort it, or smoke it, I didn't take it.
The thing is with heroin is you can snort it.
I did. I know. I have.
Heroin.
Sure I have.
Oh, not heroin.
Yeah.
Heroin's not even good. It only lasts a friggin' hour, and it can kill you really fucking.
Well,
quickly.
it wasn't just it by itself. It was what was called an 8-ball. So it was that mixed with opium and something else. Yeah. It wasn't every day I did that, but yeah, I've done it. Yeah.
I should beat you, old man.
I was not very smart when I was a teenager. Never claimed that I was.
I'm getting that. Jesus. What's wrong with you? Hey,
I just have a very addictive personality, and I enjoyed being high back then. Now I'm the opposite now. I've went so far the other way that I don't even like taking an aspirin unless I just absolutely have to, yeah, I enjoyed it. So in those days, if it felt good, I did it.
I should still be. But taking heroin of all things.
And yeah, Terabub, usually an 8-ball is speed. I maybe they didn't call it an 8-ball. I don't remember. We're talking 1977. Probably.
I've done speed. Hell, I do legal speed every day now, but
I never was much of a speed freak. I always preferred what in those days we just called them downers, but the opioids, you know.
yeah. Well, I had like legitimately done speed, like a proper amphetamine speed.
Well, I have too, but I
I
didn't.
wasn't a fan really. It didn't do anything to me. I suppose that's probably because I have ADHD and speed doesn't do anything to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, pox toxic. It is prevalent here, although the drug of choice in Indiana, being its redneck makeup, is meth.
Oh, God,
And you all probably think I'm joking, but I'll bet you right here where I'm sitting right now in my home, within a half-mile radius, there's probably at least half a dozen meth houses. You smell them. You can smell them in the air. So, yeah. Never was much for speed. And I'm taking it. We had such things called black beauties, speckled puppies, Christmas trees, white crosses. They were all speed. And
yet,
I've done cocaine.
They all sound like positions within the KKK.
Yeah. I've done cocaine, and things like that. But I always preferred, the other side of it. Your Quaaludes and Placidils and Blue Tips and yeah.
I should still beat you.
Yeah, Terry Bub, Quaaludes. I'll tell you what, Quaaludes were something else. You take them dudes, and you better be where you want to stay for a while, because if you try to walk on a Quaalude, you're going to take one step forward and three back. That's just the way it is. Yeah.
I would never have liked Quaaludes. I don't like being immobilized by anything.
Well,
I probably would have taken them though, to see whether they do anything to me. Most drugs don't do shit all to me.
My drug of choice at the time, and it's the one that I actually did become addicted to for a time, was PCP, or we called it angel dust. But
it's a cigarette dipped in.
In those they do dips, but in those days we just straight up snorted it. Or injected it if you were into that sort of thing. But I just snorted it, the straight stuff. It was a powder, and it's horse tranquilizer is what it is. And yeah. You don't feel a thing. There's documented cases of people being on PCP being able to lift cars and so forth because they don't feel the pain. You're stronger than you think you are. It's pain is the stopper. You start to lift something and, oh, that hurts. I can't lift it.
Yeah.
But now they would rip all their muscle tendons and everything out, but they didn't feel it.
Well, they'd feel it when they
come down. Yeah.
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 Ketamine is a horse tranquilizer, Tara. It's pretty much it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And I was there for about 6 months. I was addicted to it, and fortunately got out of it, because a lot of my friends from that period of time didn't escape as well as I did. I mean, they're just walking vegetables, It ate their brains up. But yeah, I was to the point I was doing, and now mind you, we're talking late 70s, so money was different then, but I was doing $10, $15, $20 a day worth of it.
That's a lot of money, even if it was based on today's money. That's still a lot.
Yeah. Yep, a lot. But thank God, and whatever, I got myself out of it.
Oh, good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
No,
you'd have proved those people that said you were going to die.
Yeah,
right. You would have proved them all right, dude. So.
Yep.
Is that
Yes, sir.
Tales of Drugs with Mr. Wing?
Well, it was a different time back then. The 70s. Seriously, we've all heard the term sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Well, that really was the mantra of the 70s. It just really was. And it would be easier to count the people that didn't do drugs in the 70s than to try to count the people that did. Because, most people did. Some didn't, like my wife. She didn't, but
yeah. So your missus was a good girl, and you were a naughty little bastard, is what?
Yep. Yes, I was, and which was probably the reason she was attracted to me in those days, because I had that bad boy persona going on. You know what I mean?
Bad.
That's right.
Bad as a bone. Naughty.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, now I'm almost too far the other way. I've just, after I got out of it, I didn't want to be out of control anymore, and I just I don't even like taking an aspirin unless I just have to. I'll suffer with a headache until I can't take it. I got to take something.
Aspirin. Fair. I'm not a fan of putting anything. Well, I say putting anything in my body. I put 60 milligrams worth of amphetamines in my body every day. So,
well, I take medication as well, but that's for legitimate physical problems, and nothing you're going to get high on. I don't think you're going to get high on cholesterol medicine and blood thinners.
You mix it with some brandy, mate. See what happens.
Take too many blood thinners, you probably die right quick. But...
Oh yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
Blind girls hitting on blood weighing. Well, it wasn't just blind girls. Back in the day, I didn't have any trouble getting the ladies.
He still fancies himself a flirtatious individual, don't you?
Yeah, I do like to flirt. When I was in the hospital with surgery, my wife was right there. I didn't care. I was flirting with them all.
Hey, old man.
Well, what am I going to do? I'm laying in ECU with every machine known to man hooked up to me. I couldn't even sit up.
I've seen some of these videos that they post to Christian Science Monitor.
Yeah.
They are pornographic in nature. I wouldn't know because I'm a good Christian, but yeah. So you never know, mate. You never know.
Yeah. They know I'm safe. I guess. What gets me now, now that I've gotten older and I work at that smoke shop, and I'm nice to everybody. I have the same, and I can have a good personality. Who you hear now is who I am. That's I'm not fake, and I get these old women. I say old women. I women my age and some older flirting with me. It's a smoke shop, and I'm like, oh crap.
They're going home saying that nice blood wing's a nice boy.
There's this one old lady that comes in. She's got to be 80 something. Comes in and buys the old school dry snuff that comes in the tall can. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. And oddly, it's only the old women that buy this stuff. But it's smokeless tobacco, And anyway, she comes in about once a month to buy it, and she always flirts with me. And I flirt back, just to play her game, make her feel good, whatever.
But it's a customer service, Mr. Wing.
Well, yeah.
Service.
Absolutely.
Mr. Wing sure is a nice boy. take him home.
Yeah, almost wasn't nice yesterday. That still bugs me. Daggone it. I think the reason it bugs me is because I didn't do anything about it. I ignored it and walked to my car. I should have done something or said something. Probably better I didn't, though. Like I said, I could have handled any one of them individually. But I don't think there's any way I could have took them all on it. And to look at these punks, they were probably the type that I would have had to fight them all.
Yeah, probably. Or they would have, they would have been, oh my God, man, I can't believe you're attacking us right now. Sorry, that's one of the most ponziest English accent I could. Go, why are you doing this? People, men of your generation, you're a problem. You're so bloody problematic. All I just simply said a word, Why are you getting violent with me?
Yeah.
God.
They're going to think problem if they went into that redneck bar they went into acting like they were out in the parking lot, because somebody in there going to stick a gun to their head.
Yeah.
I mean, this place is named the Big Dog Saloon. Hello?
Yeah.
And more times than not, there are Harley Davidson motorcycles parked out front. So it's not just redneck. It's kind of a biker bar too. So yeah.
If bikers are going in there, I mean that's your first major red flag, isn't it? Never mind, the rest of the normal bloody patrons that are in there. Yeah. That's just stupid. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. You freaking moron. Use your common sense.
Yeah, I've got half of mine to ask Steve, the guy that owns the bar next door, when I go back in on Saturday, because I'm sure he comes in every day and buys a couple of cigars. Ask him if they gave him any problems.
But you should. If they did, ask for CCTV footage.
Yeah, I want to see footage, please.
You want to upload it to YouTube.
Yeah, because it was so terribly obvious they were not from my neighborhood. They were too clean. They were just too clean,
That's a messed up thing to say, but I appreciate and respect it.
Yeah, they were too clean cut. Their cars were too nice. They didn't drive junk. They were not from that neighborhood. Guaranteed it.
How they robbed somebody.
But, speaking of, and I don't know how that's even a segue, but I'm gonna have to. It's that time. So if you bet, what time is it? 50.
It's nearly hour, sir.
Yeah, 57 minutes. Then you hit it on the head, because the old man's got to go empty the radiator. I shall be right back, Alex.
Well, you go do that with your problematic urine. Or whatever the kids are calling it these days. What's going on, chat? What's happening, everybody? Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And now that I've said all those things, what's going on, everybody? What's happening with you? How's your day been? I keep thinking it's Saturday or Sunday for some reason. It's friggin' Thursday today. He made it 58 minutes. It's nearly half past the hour. Alex, I've been playing my time in Porsche. I've been playing Satisfactory. And I tell you what, this game is fiercely addictive. I have been on this the majority of the day whilst listening to my my new audio book. What's going on, Megan Jade? What's happening with you? This game is disgustingly addictive, disgustingly so. And I use that term because you can't play this game for an hour. If you did, you wouldn't get anything done. You just wouldn't. It takes everything in this game just takes forever to get done. And then it's probably because it's me, and I'm like, well, I want to put some walls up, and then I want to put a roof over this factory that I'm building. It just goes on and on and on. I'm trying to make things symmetrical, and I get annoyed. So I'm like, right, I'll create a newer factory over in this area over here. And then this one's going to be awesome. It's going to have hookers and blackjack, and it's going to be all symmetrical. But no. I always end up fucking it up because, you need to hook your power up. And if you haven't got your power in that area, you've got to set up a power plant. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. What's going on, Devil Fruit Zero? You might be coming home tomorrow. That's good news, Tara. That's good news. Well, I want to play blackjack, or is it Jack of Color in the current year? I don't know.
It'd be Jack of Color in today's political climate.
Yeah, that's probably fair, sir. That's probably fair. Sad. Very sad.
Yeah. Porsche. What is Porsche, Jen? I don't.
Oh no, it's called My Time at Porsche. It's a game. Consider it to be a more kind of like 3D version of Stardew Valley.
Ah,
I
okay.
actually have it. I haven't actually loaded it to play it because, well, you know me.
Ooh, squirrel.
Yeah, and plus Satisfactory is holding my attention at the moment. You know, Satisfactory and 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
You know me. I get addicted to one thing and then I stay addicted to it for ages. Like I don't like separating myself away from it after that.
I generally don't either. I mean, I'll get on a kick of playing this game for a while and then, okay, I've had enough of that for a little bit, and then play this, play the heck out of this game for a while, and this cycle repeats, and eventually I'll get back to the game I was, first playing.
Yeah. The cycle goes around. But you know what's funny is I never did come back to Warframe.
I haven't either.
Which is a shame because I saw that they were hiring creators, Warframe content creators, the other day. And I was like, oh.
I mean, I still have it on my Steam, so I still get news from it, but no, I haven't played it at all since UI and Dax played it all the time.
Yeah,
which is a shame because I should at least try it because now I have a new computer, and
yeah, that's fair.
Probably handle it better, but yeah, just
even on your old computer, it wasn't too bad though, was it?
No, not too bad. Some of those maps, if there was a lot of foliage, if it was like the jungle maps, some of those maps would run me to the ringer, but
nice, refreshing beverage for you, sir.
Yeah, coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee. It's food of the gods.
I'll use shit in my mouth, to be honest.
Well, if you said,
I'm sorry. I just I'm not a fan.
Well, it is an acquired taste. I actually did not drink coffee at all until I was 21 years old. And I had just moved down to Kentucky, and it was the middle of winter. And where I lived in Kentucky is the middle of the hills. The closest town had a whole 600 people in it. Our closest neighbor was, half a mile away. So there's not much to do during the wintertime but sit around, smoke cigarettes, and drink coffee.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
This game is driving me fucking mad.
Now my parents drank coffee, but I never did. I drank a lot of hot tea, but back in those days when I was a kid.
Actual tea.
Yeah. Well, drank a lot of iced tea as well. I'm an American, of course it is.
It's not actual tea then, is it?
Well, it is. It's just not hot. It's just not hot. You should try it sometime.
Oh, coffee's disgusting.
Not coffee. Cold tea.
Well, sweet tea.
Yeah.
I would try it. But we don't do it over here.
Well, if you got a glass of true sweet tea, just be aware that you're in for a huge sugar rush, because it's like good old fashioned redneck sweet tea is like a little bit of tea with your sugar.
Well, I like sugar.
Yeah.
I have quite the sweet tooth, as you know. So
yeah. Do I make tea in my microwave? I heat water in my microwave, and I've had this argument with Alex and the rest of them in his little Discord we hang out in.
Discord.
Well, it is compared to your main one. It's a little one. We just use it to hang out.
Actually, I don't even own my main one. I'm not even joking. I don't even own it. Which I imagine you find quite funny, but and the one where that we're in at the moment, together, that we're in on a regular basis. I did start that one, but I don't own it. Yeah, I just don't. It's best for me not to own Discords. So
yeah. Yeah, well, I understand why. You don't have to explain. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I feel that that's by design too. The one that we hang out in is not meant to be big. It's just for
Yeah.
a little close circle of friends to hang out and play games.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But
That's what it was for. It was just, a
yeah,
little teeny weeny community thingy.
yeah.
That's
So I've had that conversation, and they've all tried to convince me that it tastes different. And it doesn't heat it the same, and I'm like, yeah, I don't see it. I'm an American. Give me my nuker. No Pox. I've never played Monster Hunter. I've heard people say that I should and whatnot, but the footage I've seen of it, it looks, and I'm probably going to get grief for saying this. It looks a bit too anime-ish for my taste, and I'm sorry.
My problem with it is I find that all games that look like that are usually created by Capcom.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry, for example. And I won't play any of them. And the reason being is it's the same reason why I won't play Resident Evil and things like that. It's because they are all dog shit games. They are all bad, clunky made games with shit controls. And I'm sure the story about Monster Hunter's a load of dog shit, by the way. Don't spend your money on that dog shit when you can basically play the free version of the game, which is basically the Fortnite version of it through the Epic Game Store. I forget what it's called. You can just download that, and it's basically the same game. You can play it with your friends, and it's for free.
But that's just my personal take on it, Pox. If you enjoy it, hey, you do what you enjoy. I'm not a game snob. I don't look down my nose at you because you play this game and I don't like it.
If you like playing shit games, then have at it, I guess.
It's not what I said.
Oh, I didn't say that's what you said. That's what I said. If you like playing dog shit games, you want to spend your money on crap, then you go right ahead.
I would absolutely love to check GTFO, except I don't have the money for it right now. I'm down to the wire now, where probably within the next few days, I'm going to start the process of getting my truck fixed, because I think I've got enough money now, or it's close.
Yeah.
So what money I've got is going to be going into that. But I would love to try out GTFO. The videos I've seen on it look fun as heck.
What is GTFO? Get the fuck out.
Yes. Yes.
No, but what is it?
It's kind of a survival type game, but then again, it's not. Kind of a detective game. It's just hard to describe. You play a group of, I think, teenagers, isn't it? And something's going on in your town, and you don't know what it is, and you've got to you're sneaking out at night to know, and like the town's all full of these sleepwalking people, and it's pretty cool.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Unless I'm confusing that, it might be that, or is GTFO the one with all the monsters in it that you shoot down? I'm probably confusing it.
It sounds like you were just describing the plot to Scooby-Doo.
Well, there is a game like that. Yeah. Monster Killing. Yeah, I was confusing it. And I've seen that one too. And yes, that one also looks very, very fun. I'm seen
hearing very, very bad things about the Viking version of Assassin's Creed, which is coming. Nothing but bad things about it.
But I've seen Markiplier and his bunch play GTFO, and it looks very fun. It looks very fun, and it's probably a game that would make Alex scream over and over, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
You know what's this is would be a pleasant surprise for you, Mr. Man. So you know how I like Markiplier, I like Jacksepticeye, I like PewDiePie, but I've never been a fan of the gameplay videos.
Yeah.
Until I watched Markiplier 7 Days to Die series.
They're just trolling each other.
Him and his.
You talking about him and Wade and Bob?
Yeah, they are hilarious together. Yeah. They They're so immature. I love it.
And they set it to a horde every night.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Like,
Which I believe was vengeance against Markiplier for doing that in the past on one of their birthday, if I memory serves.
it was on Wade's birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, I like those two with him. He's like, come on, family friendly. And they're like, what? Piss, cunt, shit.
Yeah.
On his face, he's not amused, but I love it. I love it. I love the trolling.
Yeah. Yeah. I did get that confused though, Puck's talking. Yeah, I know exactly which game you're talking about by GTFO. It's the monsters, and it is a multiplayer. You know, it's a four player multiplayer, and you've got to cooperate. Each person takes a different role in the team, you know, to get through, and it's a very fun looking game.
Well, is it like Left 4 Dead?
Huh?
Is it like Left 4 Dead?
Sort of, but more complex.
Okay. Well, yeah, Left 4 Dead was very simplistic, and it was just
you've got to like hack machines and figure your way out through doors and how to get past these things that are sleeping without waking them up, kind of like the witches in Left 4 Dead. But there's more of them, you know. And I think it's a game you probably would like if you get past the oh my god factor because of all the monsters. And at some point they kind of do like a horde. Once you get all the objectives completed, the door opens, but you have to wait like 2 minutes for the door to open. So you're fighting off this mega horde of these creatures while you're doing that. And, but the other game I was talking about looks very good too. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's another one that I seen Markiplier and his crew, Wade and Bob play.
Usually, I think it's fair. Because I'm the same way with Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie. You know, I'm not a fan of the gameplay videos. I'm just not. I prefer it when they're talking about something, or you know, doing memes or whatever else, or being themselves, or talking about something serious. I like that aspect of them because.
Well, if you do happen to watch Markiplier play GTFO and his group, Jacksepticeye is in their group. But what they really need is they need a thick, because those guys suck. All four of them, they suck bad, and that's part of what makes it fun to watch because they are so terrible.
Well, it wouldn't be entertaining otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, they need like a thick, at least one of them, somebody that can get kills.
That's why we have J-Kid.
Yeah. Well, he's our thick in our 7 Days to Die group.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he quite literally is. I'm fairly sure he is. I mean, I got J-Kid several times. Well, I didn't die as a result of his actions, but I tried to go into a building that I thought was prime. It was full of zombies because the zombies had respawned. The loot hadn't. So yeah, it's happened multiple times. But yeah, that's basically.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, and of course I'm very well aware of his gaming abilities, as he is my real life son, and we've played many video games together. One thing you don't want to do is play him in Call of Duty. Just don't even try. Just don't even try, because it's not going to work.
I did challenge him and Jade to PvP.
Yeah.
In 7 Days to Die, and I didn't know where he was. I had no idea where he was. Jade goes down, and I'm trying to find him, because I figure if I find him, I can take him. Never found him. Just dead. Driving around in the 4x4, and I was dead the next second.
Yeah, he was probably right behind you the whole time.
I was trying to find him so bad. I seen Jade go down, couldn't find him. Could never even saw where he was.
And yeah, he could, Tara. unless we went to, sometimes we would make the rules playing Call of Duty to where it was shank only. Couldn't use guns, only your knife. And then I had a chance, but with guns and stuff, no, never had a chance. But it wasn't always like that, of course, because I've been playing games with him since he's able to hold a controller. So that's one of the reasons he's as good as he is, because that's always been part of he and I's relationship is video games. And that's what we've always done. So I'd say I've been playing video games with him on the regular since he's 7, 8 years old, but yeah, he's good. He's good. He is good. And it amazes me that he's closing on 40 and he still has the reaction time that he has.
But,
I have to remind myself that he's getting that old.
Well, yeah. It must be quite the wake-up call whenever you think of that in your mind, surely.
Yeah, that, and my oldest granddaughter is getting ready to turn 16.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no use denying it. Just embrace it. Shh, let it happen.
Embrace the old age. What are you doing all right for 60?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
I mean, sure, I'm not as twitchy and reaction time's not nearly as good as any younger people in the video games.
Hold on a second, mate, sorry. Right, what do you want?
Your handle's nearly breaking.
Oh my, right. Well, it's got nothing to do with you, has it?
Yeah. But yeah, I think I do pretty well for a 60-year-old guy. I would put myself against any other 60-year-old guy or any other 50-year-old guy or most 40-year-olds for that matter. Because I've been gaming ever since video games were a thing. People forget that we late boomers, those of us that were teenagers in the 70s, were the first generation to ever play video games. Think about that. So I've been gaming ever since. Yeah, I do fine. I only get to play 2 or 3 days out of the week with you guys on 7 Days to Die, so I'm way behind you in levels and in kills, but I haven't died yet, and I'm kind of proud of that. Yeah, but again, GD, you got to remember that I've been gaming for a very, very long time. Very long time. Since video games were things like, asteroids and things like that.
Oh. Yeah, I only bent over and did that shake because I wanted to see if I still had an arse, and apparently I don't. I've lost too much weight.
Yeah. Jake had actually played games before that, Devil Fruit Zero. That's just about the age I started playing with him, because I had a rule, and I've always done this, and you guys may think this cruel, but I played games with my kids, even, the standard board games like, the kiddie game, Shoots and Ladders and Candyland and that stuff. But I refused to lose on purpose because I was playing against my kids. I wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't rub it in their face, but I wanted to teach them that, if you face somebody that's better than you at a game, you're probably going to lose. So you have to practice to get better.
Yeah, I've been trying to teach my youngest that, but to no avail. To no avail.
Yeah, and maybe that way they're not a sore loser. I tried to raise my kids not to be a sore loser. So I didn't start playing with him on a regular basis till he was about 7 or 8 years old, when he at least had a chance to keep up with me, Yeah. Yeah, good lesson on coping with adult stuff, right? Because when you start adulting, you sure figure out real quick that things don't always go your way.
My kids are sore losers because I'm a sore loser. No, I did try to teach them that as well, my eldest in particular, but I hear him sometimes in his bedroom giving it the mouth. And I'm just like, I was never like this in front of him. I don't know where he's getting this from.
Yeah.
Uh,
And and my kids, I even challenged them. We didn't just play the standard kiddie games. We played more difficult games. I taught him how to play chess at a very young age. I learned to play chess at 6. So I taught him at a very young age. We would play games like aggravation, Monopoly, which is a simple game, but there is a strategy, to Monopoly. And it's also a game that if you're going to rage at board games, that's one that people like to rage at. It's Monopoly.
but to be Monopoly, it's like it splits families apart,
It can, but that's why I would play it, was to teach them not to be like that. Like, okay, yeah, so dad won. Why did dad win? What do you got to do to be better?
Because dad's a dick and was the banker and rigged the entire thing.
No, usually I would let one of the kids be the banker. I would just
Well, so they couldn't pull that stunt.
Yeah. So. And we still love, it's been a long while since we have, but as a family, we still love to get together to play board games. Now, these days, we tend to play more complicated role-playing type board games, not pen and paper role-playing, but games like, there's one about mice. Maybe somebody in the chat could tell me, but it's a fantasy game. Really loved that. House on the Hill. Oh, awesome game. Awesome game. You would love it. It's like a haunted house that you build section by section as you play, and one person is the traitor, but you don't know who it is. You have your objectives, and the traitor has their objectives. Of course, one of their objectives is not to be found out until it's too late, right? So it's a lot of fun. I believe we played that one, Zombicide. I think I know we did play a zombie game, Pox Toxic. I don't quite remember the name of it, but those are the type of games we tend to play now when we get together as a family. Love those.
I never played that one in particular, but the game that you call aggravation, I think we call it frustration.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a transparent plastic bubble in the middle of the board, and
that one we call trouble.
Oh, okay. I thought that maybe was the same one as
aggravation. Has a similar look and similar play style to that in the board and everything, but you use marbles and there's no plastic bubble in the middle. You just roll your dice.
Oh, okay. Because the dice is in the middle of a plastic bubble, which is in the middle of the board, and you each play just these little studs, like little red, green, yellow studs.
Yeah, that one we call trouble, and I even remember the commercials for it when I was a kid. The Pop-O-Matic. That's what they called that little variable. The Pop-O-Matic.
It's funny. Every Christmas comes around, right? And the Buckaroo still being advertised after all these years. Buckaroo for Buckaroo good time. And of course, Operation, which I definitely couldn't play now because of my tremors.
No way. I shake way too bad. But I had one when I was a kid. I mean, it's been around that long. I was probably 6 or 7 years old and got the Operation game,
I never got to play Operation or play Buckaroo. I never used to ask my mum for shit, right? So I can't blame her for that because I never asked her for anything as a kid. I just didn't ask her for anything because I just didn't. I knew that we were poor, so I just didn't ask for shit. And if I got things, then I was eternally grateful for it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we were poor and we couldn't afford a lot, and there was more than a few Christmases where all that mom and dad could afford was to buy his toys off of the nickel rack at the drugstore, and we were kids. We didn't know any different. Heck, it was still a toy,
Yeah, I didn't care.
Yeah.
My mum worked hard. She raised me as a single mother. Work jobs that she had, but I was more bothered about the food, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
And the movies. There was one thing I loved about Christmas was the movies and stuff.
Honestly, Alex, I didn't realize that we were poor growing up until I got older and looked back and seen the things that we ate and the things that we wore, and I'm like, we were poor. Wow,
Yeah.
what a revelation!
Yeah, I didn't really know that we were poor. I was just appreciative of the things that I got. I was a very, very, very quiet child, I guess.
Mom made a lot of our clothes. She was a good seamstress, and she made a lot of our clothes. And and we ate well, but we ate cheaply. And yeah, you could always tell when Dad got paid. He got paid every 2 weeks, and on that Friday we'd get 1 6-pack of Pepsis and a bag of Doritos. It was payday. And that was our treat.
Well, I love Doritos.
Well, yeah. Of course, this was back in the day where Doritos only had one flavor, and that was the original taco flavor.
I'd have been I'm easy. If my mum got me sweets or a bag of potato chips, I was happy with it. I didn't care.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, my preference now, when my wife goes to the store, she always gets us each a bag of some sort of snack chip, right? And my preference is just regular, plain, old, ruffled potato chips. I don't care if they're brand name or not. They could be the store brand. I don't care. Just,
No, I'm happy just to be thought of and have things. I just like things being brought to me. I'm easy like that, I guess. Just am. Always been. Just like even now as an adult, I care even less now. I'd rather the kids have something than me. I just want to be left alone now.
Yeah.
I'm more like a grumpy old man now, if anything.
That's the way that I am. I can't count how many times I'll be sitting here. My wife's gone to work and my phone starts going off. It's usually alerts from YouTube or something, and I'll just sit here and say, I just want left alone.
Actually, go away, man.
Leave me alone.
Just leave me be. Just I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
Quit bugging me.
You're like, if I want to talk to you, I will come to you.
Yes.
And talk to you there.
Yeah.
Until then, you are banished.
I've always.
I had to tell you this before I.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, don't go.
I had to ban the young'un from playing Roblox today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money again?
No, he didn't get in. He didn't manage to do that again.
Uh-huh.
Good Lord, that was a bit much.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how stupid I had been at that point. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so dumb. I never accounted for the fact that he would get onto Reese's Xbox and try to buy all the Robux.
It happened, like I told you, it happened to us with a grandson, and we didn't think about it either.
Yeah, I felt like a right dumbass. But no, I had to ban him today because that temperament of his is something fierce. It really is. And because I won't, buy him Robux and, get him the things that he wants, it's been building for a couple of days. I knew it was coming. And today he tried to go into this world in Roblox because that's how they do it. They do it on like servers and there's different worlds.
Right. Yeah. My grandkids play Roblox. Yeah.
Yeah. I personally think the game is a load of shit, to be honest with you. It is. It's a load of shit. I don't see what the appeal is.
No, but they seem to like it, so whatever.
So, but yeah, he lost his rag. And he started like grabbing the keyboard and slamming it and bashing it, and I was like, right, you can get off that. You can get off the computer. You're not playing this game anymore. End of discussion. You can go play Minecraft like a normal child in the current year. So you're not playing this game. It's a load of shit anyway. So
yeah. I mean, I always tried to raise my kids, and I always gave them the example with myself and my grandkids later. because one of my grandsons had started to become a bit of a sore loser, cry and whine and throw things around because he couldn't win. And but hey, if the game is you play games for fun. If
Yeah.
it's making you mad, walk away from it. Step away, do something else.
That's what I tried telling him. I said, if it's making you angry, if you're getting stressed out with it, walk away. But he's like me. He's very hard-headed, and he doesn't care. He won't walk away from it, just like I won't walk away from things.
But
He
if they
just
got
won't.
too out of line with it, I'd be like you, and I say, all right, well, you're done. You're done for the day. You're done.
That's
Don't
pretty
get to
much
play.
what I do. That's what he did today. I said, right, no, that's it now. I said, no, you can bugger off. You're not playing it now. End of discussion. You're not playing. I don't care what you say. You can get the hell off my computer as well while you're there. I'm not going to let you break controls and break keyboards and things of that nature. You can bugger off.
No. I caught my grandson one time throwing a controller across the room. And just so happened that controller belonged to me.
They're not cheap. They're not cheap.
I gave him what for.
Yeah,
I didn't pull anything with him. I gave him what for, and made sure that he knew that I paid for that. He didn't. So if he breaks it, it's my money, not yours. And if I catch you throwing that controller like that again, you'll be banned for life from the Xbox. And I ain't joking. He listened.
Reese has done similar things where he's broken controls, and I said, "Oh, broken your control, have we? Because you couldn't take it that you lost. Oh, the little darling." I said to him, I said, "Guess what? Because you acted like a little baby.
See you, Pete.
See you later, Pete. Because you acted like a little pathetic baby. Because you couldn't, sit down and actually just play the game and realize it's just a game. You're not having a new one." So,
Nade asks, "Am I playing tonight?" Yes.
Horde night.
It is Horde night. You're not doing a Horde night without me.
I won't do it without Bloodwing present. So I won't do it without at least Bloodwing, Jade, and J-Kid.
And I've seen her nice, pretty full, and it is pretty full base, Horde base. It's all pink and yellow.
Did you just say her base?
No, I said I seen our. I called it our.
Well, it's not our.
It is our. Don't you
not.
even. I don't care that you built most of it. It's our.
I built the entire thing. I didn't build most of it. I built all of it, and Jade colored it in.
It's still our. We are a team.
I lease it out. This is right. It may be a game, but it's still America. Okay, we ain't no pinko commie freaks, right? I rent it out. You lot,
But I have seen the nice, pretty full pink and yellow base, Horde base
that Alex constructed.
Yeah, and
Alex's best base builder. Well, I am right. I am the best at base building. But what that base has yet to be penetrated.
You've seen pictures of some of the bases I've built. I've got skills too, but I just don't have an apartment.
You're lazy though. You what you do is you build a little tower, right? A little iggle piggle one, right? And then what do you do then? Right? You bloody, you put spikes around it and then you do your business. Which of course it works. Of course it works. But you haven't had demolishers come up against it yet. You haven't had demolishers go up against it yet. My bases have survived. Well, the one before this one didn't survive the demolishers, but
it survived well enough.
You survived. Yeah, I survived. It doesn't matter if Jade died. I mean, that was pretty funny, but
and we expect Mickey to die.
Oh yeah, and that's not our fault either. That's just.
While we're talking about that, I don't know if you heard me saying it because you didn't come in till later, Nade. I've watched the video that you put up over the last Horde night, and it cracked me up because you could definitely tell when I was firing that 44 Magnum. You could hear it clear as bell. and the gun that J Kid had, that automatic shotgun at the time. It was fun. But boy, the cacophony of noise. Oh Lord.
The amount of noise that you're going to hear tonight is going to be a lot, mate.
I'm sure.
Because I have down 5 electric posts that they have to run to. They have to run through them. You're going to hear that do sound that the dart traps make, because there's like 4 of those now. I need to actually get the hatches down before the horde comes as well.
And you've got machine gun and shotgun turrets, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I've got 4 SMG turrets and 2 shotgun turrets, and the sound that they work as like anti-air guns. It's great. Love it. Love that shit.
Keeps them stinking buzzards off of. God, I hate them buzzards.
Yeah,
it would not hurt my feelings if they took the buzzard out.
Yeah, they're really annoying. I completely agree with you there. But I would agree with you, Jade. Is to discourage them from having a crack. There are plenty of spikes underneath the base, however. So I just need a couple extra around the side. I've got enough time to build more. I have more building when I left last night. So we got all this. We've got lots of spikes, and I'm still making ammunition. So did you see the amount of shotgun shells that I made?
I haven't, which is good, because I, as I recall, I think I need some shells.
Yeah, I made over 1,000 yesterday.
Oh.
So there's enough. There is enough to go around.
I think I need some shotgun shells and some 7.62, and then I think I'm good. Well, I need to come up with some scrap iron so I can make ammo for my junk turret. Which I'll have on me as a last ditch effort. If those destroyers start getting a little bit too close to my position, I'm plopping it down.
I'm not a fan of the demolishers. No. I could have done without them being a feature in the game.
Well, I was on the bottom floor the whole horde night, so yeah, they were blowing up under my feet.
Well, you forget, sir, and I'm not trying to outdo you here, right? I'm really not. But you remember that I also spent a good portion of the horde night on the other side of the entrance to the tower.
Yes, I know. I was watching you and trying to watch your back.
And repairing the bloody thing whilst under siege. And I accidentally opened the door at one point.
Yeah, I recall that as well.
No, we're not playing after this. I've got a stream to do first, Jade, and then we can play it. I don't want you guys going in advance in time whilst I'm not there.
Because when you opened the door, my first thought is, oh, great, the demolishers are going to be right under me. I'm dead.
Which is fair. Which is totally fair. It wasn't good. The last one, it really. Well, we survived.
Yeah,
and most of the tower survived.
As far as survival rate, is probably one of the better ones we've had.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm gonna be building a new one after this.
Oh, a completely different one.
Yeah, I can't. For once, I don't want to get my my inspiration from YouTubers. I came up with my own completely fresh idea the other night, and I want, as I said, I want to build the House of Horrors. You got enough info for stream, Alex? Probably. I ain't even looked.
Yeah. Deck Train. Actually, I've been talking about that. You can ask. Alex will confirm it. I've been talking about adding minefields to it. But you've got to put them far enough away that when they go off, they don't destroy our traps. So.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of mines.
Does tear things up quite a bit, and makes it frustrating when you're driving your motorcycle across the terrain, and boom, you're in a hole.
Yeah, exactly. I get why people use them. They're not really for me. They're just another thing I have to make and lay down.
Which, speaking of the motorcycle, guys, it's so awesome when all of us, well, except for Mickey, all of us get on our motorcycles and ride.
Oh
pack.
yeah, I like that.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Hello. What's going on now? The fuck is it doing? Hello.
yeah.
What? Did everything go silent then for a second?
No, I could hear your little Windows alert. Do-do-do-do.
I don't know what it did. Stupid.
Yeah, I should be able to make the mines, Nade. You know, because all of my points have been along the weapons creation, tree. So I would think I should be able to make the mines.
I'm fairly sure I can make them. I mean, I'd rather not have to make them because I already make all of the ammo.
I know, and you don't have to, you know.
I know, yeah, but you're not always there, sir. So
I know,
somebody needs to
know.
do it. Someone needs to do it.
Yeah,
Don't
and
they?
I would, if I had my druthers, I would prefer to be there. But you know, there's this thing called eating that I like to do. So in order to do that, I got to work. So
Oh, well, that's selfish. Eating. Ellie, be more like me. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I got to keep feeding this papo bump. You know.
Yeah. You don't get either of those things in 7 Days to Die.
No.
Survival game, mate. Not a whatever you think it is.
Railgun or plasma rifles. Now that would be, you know, I liked them quite too, but no. Although some of the weapons we have are a little unrealistic, they tend to be more on the realistic side.
Oh yeah, you know, shotgun, rifle.
Yeah,
these are quite, you know, realistic things.
Yeah, I think the blade traps are the single thing that's probably going to make a big difference because they do tend to be very effective until they're taken out.
Oh yeah, I've added 2 of them to the front of the base now.
Yeah.
So that should be helpful. Would be anyway.
Yeah, I like my shotgun Nade for close-up work. Although the range on that shotgun is pretty incredible in 7 Days to Die. But for long range, I like my 44. So. But I'm a redneck. Of course, I like the shotgun.
I don't know what I prefer really. I like the new desert vulture, as it's called. It's called a desert vulture, not a desert eagle.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, obviously a play on the fact that, you know, the game is.
I think I can make one, or at least I'm going to try when I log in. I think I can, but I'm not sure. If I can, it'll probably be about a level 4, which is probably higher than any of us have at the moment of that. Because that game, I don't know. Have you seen very many of those pop up?
No, I haven't. No. I have, you know, points in a few different things, but I think my desert vulture is a level 3, which was given to me by J-Kid, because obviously J-Kid, you know, gets kills, and he also loots everything on planet Earth. So yeah.
Now you know where he gets it though, because I'm the guy that plays Skyrim and refuse to drop anything. I'll walk all the way back to Riverwood from what you call it, Barrows, whatever it's called.
Yeah. The barrow, yeah.
Completely over encumbered because I refuse to drop loot. No, it's mine. I want it. I don't care. It takes me an hour to walk back.
You work for it. It's yours.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I wouldn't miss a Horde night, not if I could help it.
Horde night's always a good time. Always a good time.
Oh, I have a blast. Even when it fails. In fact, sometimes when it fails, it's funner. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just.
Well, yeah, it makes it a bit spicy, doesn't it? It makes it more entertaining. add some excitement to it, because you don't just want to be able to be inside an impenetrable base,
right? And just sit and watch all the traps take everything out. There's no
yeah.
fun in that.
Yeah, it's no fun. I want to get some rounds off.
Yeah. In fact, one of the best times I've had was that horde night we had on the previous map, where I was the only one that died when they dug under me. Because they broke in behind us, and I was like, oh crap. But I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah. Are you referring to the VJJ base?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. When they dug through and come through the wall behind us and then dug under me, and I was the only one to die that night because they dropped the floor out from under me.
Some bullshit, man. My base, right, should have not been penetrated. My VJJ should not have been penetrated.
Devil Fruit Zero, I use CBBE only because they're very common, and I can use Caliente's mod more easily on them to adapt them to the way that I want them to look. Sorry, he was asking a Skyrim question.
It's okay. My VJJ was too big for 7 days to die.
Yeah.
It was, if I kept it so that it was the length that it was originally, and then maybe just like kept a room on the same level, it would have been all right. I think it would have done for maybe 2 horde nights, 2 or 3 horde nights, in my opinion.
But I had a blast, even though I was the only one to die, and I might have sounded like I didn't. I was laughing the whole time. I'm like,
no, I think we all died, didn't we?
No, I was the only one that died that night.
Oh, the game. Oh yeah, because the game just absolutely spurged out, didn't it? And it crashed.
No, I didn't crash that night. I was the only one that died because I happened to be standing on the one spot that they dug under and dropped me down into the middle of them in a cavern below the base.
The game, I remember, because it crashed. Yeah, it crashed because it booted me out of the game. I remember, sir. I remember.
Well, that was when we were in the mountain, though.
Yeah, inside. The JJ base was inside the mountain.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the previous base. I'm sorry.
Oh, you mean you're on about the Simon Says base.
Yeah, and when they dug through and come through the wall, and
yeah, that didn't happen the second time though, did it?
Oh no.
Yeah, because Alex reinforced that base. That's the best design I've ever come up with.
Yes, Mickey, you survived only because of me, because I stepped over and kind of got next to you to make sure you were doing all right, because I knew you were lagging, and that's when they dropped the floor out of me. If I'd have stayed where I was standing, I'd have been fine. So you owe me.
You owe him, Mickey. You owe him. Yeah, blood protect.
Yeah. I was doing my best. I went through a heck of a lot of shotgun shells in 7.62 that night, though, just blasting into that hole that they were coming through.
Mm-hmm. That was probably the best base I would have ever built, really. After that, the horde night after that, they didn't get through shit.
Take care, Tara. Or Tara.
Roger, Tara. And why are you saying it like that for? That's literally how her name is pronounced. Not Tara.
Because I pronounce it Tara. And my daughter is named
like
Tara.
But it's spelled Tara.
It's pronounced Tara.
But it's spelled Tara.
Which is a rat backwards.
Hey, Tara, Tara. She's going to hate that.
But
I love these sweets, by the way. Fruit pastels, you'd love them.
Yeah.
They're nourish, sir. They are nourish.
They're nourish.
Yummy. But you know what? You'd love this game, Bloodwing. You really would.
Which one?
Satisfactory. It really just sets off the autism in me.
Well, I've seen it played. Didn't Neebs play it for a time?
Yeah, they did a couple of videos on that, but there's like been a massive update since then, and there's a lot more that it's not just building factories and all that kind of thing. You actually do have to engage in combat, and you have to do some exploration.
Yeah. I mean, when they done it, it looked like it was like get all the factory parts and mine the right stuff until you could launch an escape pod.
You're not there to survive and escape.
Yeah,
you're there to build shit and produce.
Or no, it wasn't an escape pod. It was a space elevator they were trying to build.
Yeah, the space elevator. I have one. You're able to build it from the get-go. It's how you send products off to the company you work for. The company's called Fix It, and every order they ask for gets gradually harder to fulfill.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm building my factory in the desert at the moment. I'm just trying to balance the goods at the moment because I'm trying to make more complex stuff.
Right now, if I get another game, if I could afford them, which I can't, like I said, all my money's going toward my truck right now, but which takes priority because I've got to get that thing running. But if I did, I'd have to clear space. Believe it or not, I have a terabyte hard drive, which is almost full, mainly because of all my Skyrim mods. Probably I haven't looked into it, but
yeah,
I have a terabyte hard drive and I have a terabyte external.
Of course you do.
With 2 terabytes of hard drive space, I'm almost out of space. Isn't that crazy?
That's a lot.
And I remember when what's his name at Microsoft said that no one would ever need more than a megabyte of hard drive space.
Well, yeah, behave yourself. Yeah, my external hard drive is I had to yeet some stuff out of it.
Yeah,
because like I back up like all the videos and stuff that I've done and all the work that I'd made into those videos. So what I ended up having to do was go into each folder that was like, oh, this video or this video or this video, delete everything out of it except for the thumbnail and the video.
Yeah, I could probably, if you probably scare up a couple of 100 gigabytes if I went through and just got rid of everything I'm just not using anymore. Transferred some stuff over to my external, and I'll do that if I ever get around to it.
One day, maybe. Jade's off. She's off. Says bye to you, but not to me.
Yeah, I'll see you later, Nate.
Dick. And you from the base.
Well, we're almost to the end of it. We got a few minutes left. But
I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch in about half an hour after the stream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to. Not because I want to go play 7 Days to Die with y'all a lot, but I ain't in the mood.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, it's been one of them days. I was just pissed off and didn't really want to, be happy and stuff. But doing this stream cheer me up because we've been talking about games.
Well, sure, yeah. Well, that's the way that was my intent for these streams when I started them, was to just be whatevs, whatever, just a conversation. That's all it is, just a conversation.
What's that damn hold up over here?
I don't know.
I'm looking in my factory, and the products are not moving fast enough. I want to know why there's a distinct lack of iron rods coming through.
Maybe you need to get the whip out and crack it on the slaves. Get going.
Well, if there was actually anybody to blame except for me, then I guess I'm going to whip myself, I suppose, because everything's automated. I have these huge iron boxes, and inside those iron boxes are my factories that produce different products and stuff, and I need to investigate as to why the iron rod production is seemingly not being fed through to the other box, the box of apparent productiveness.
Mm-hmm.
See that there's shit tons of these fucking rods. What's going on?
I don't know.
What the hell are these getting fed to? What's inside here? Oh, I bet it's the screws, isn't it? I'm just trying to find where my shit. What's going on, Jen? You cheered me up too, Alex. Well, good. That's why Bloodwing exists, to make us happy again.
I try.
Yeah.
I do try.
I've been. It's been one of them days, mate. It's been one of them days.
Oh, I get you. Like I said, I woke up at 5. I did go back to bed about 8:30 for about an hour and a half. But, I get you.
Yeah, so it's hard to care, hard to stay motivated when things aren't going well and your body messes with you and all that good stuff. But
Oh yeah. I know. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt.
Well, I know.
But that's the reason I.
Hello. What's it doing? Hello. Hello. Why does it do this?
I
Hello?
don't know. Hello.
Oh, there you are. There you go. We're back.
Okay. But yeah, I mean that's the reason, when I took the system edge job.
It's cut out again. Is it me? Is it my end? Or is it blood that keeps cutting out? Oh, apparently it's you, Mr. Wing.
Nah, on my end, it looks like you going out, and I get the buffering even in the hangout on your side. If you're hearing me,
I can hear you now. Yeah. The G-Dubs are saying she can't hear you when it happens on your end.
Okay.
I don't know.
We're almost at the end of it, so yeah.
It's fine if everything goes tits up now.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the reason. I told him I don't care what days I got to work as long as I have 2 days off together, because that first day off is my sit around and do nothing and get my body back in shape day.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, we are at the end of it, guys, and this is the part where, as always, I thank all of you for coming out and spending a part of your day with us, because I know good and well that you don't have to. You could choose a lot of different things other than coming out and doing this, but so I appreciate.
We appreciate you guys.
I appreciate it. Alex, anything you want to shout out?
I have a new true crime video out on the main channel. It's about the last woman executed in the United Kingdom. Go check it out, guys. Go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. As for me, next stream will probably, looking at next week's schedule, because I have to work Saturday, will be Tuesday. So be on the lookout for me for Tuesday. Okay.
Tuesday, guys.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
But anyway, we are at the end of it. And so before we have any more technical issues, we're going to get out of here. And as always, get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.